Hello. Well, I have just in the last day or so had an experiment with my first ever image to video AI creation. Not actually my creation, creation of the brains behind this particular AI software. Um, Very short clip. I'm very much at the stage of, I guess, someone discovering the internet for the first time, really not myself feeling very confident to indulge in some of the more advanced, technically oriented workflows and so on. And therefore, I'm relying on some of the services out there for taking an old postcard or an old photograph, for example, and playing with it to create some little animation. And even in a 5, 6 second clip, it's really quite exciting and amazing to my eyes, at least. I have seen plenty online that have gone an awful lot further, of course. And maybe I'll come to that point a little further down the line, where I've gone beyond those early days of the internet with the very slow dial-up and come on to full broadband, as it were. Now, actually using these services, I have already realized, having gone very quickly through a trial, which just gave me one very brief little glimpse. And I was looking at a number of different services before opting on one, that this could become a very expensive business if you were not careful. I am at the moment not really willing, I don't think, to go beyond the lightest subscription, which is not going to give me very much scope for playing with it, which is a bit of a shame in one way, but probably means that it's going to prevent me becoming overindulgent in this and making use of it, actually really deciding what I want to do when I've got an image, making the most of it kind of thing, because it's costing pennies. And indeed, this first little glimpse, which I will show in just a moment, took 3 or 4 attempts to get to a point where I felt it was actually probably something that I could use and relate to and felt comfortable with. As I know, a lot of have spoken about AI. There's always going to be, I think, potential for getting things like maintaining facial features correctly. Something that slightly frustrated me in the prompts, the instructions you give, which for me in this example were really quite limited, was the voice. I had an idea of the kind of voice that I might be able to relate to intone, and that didn't actually get picked up in a couple of attempts with the software. So I kind of gave up. Again, if you had the technical knowledge or infinite financial resources and time to play with it, I'm sure you could improve on that. But it does seem important to me in terms of trying to put Anja into a situation that I might be able to imagine her being in, that I can actually relate to the character that is on screen, and therefore maintaining something of the appearance. And as I say, even if it's not my voice, a voice that I feel I can embody as Anja and project onto this is important. And in a number of the AI attempts I've seen online, there are a number of channels on YouTube that present examples of gender fluidity scenarios. I've not personally been able to relate to most of those, in part because I think they're almost too perfect. They are creating they seem to create a caricature, often very feminine appearing woman that is probably a little bit beyond the bounds of where I see Anja being and becoming. There may be something to do with my own slightly androgynous interest and liking, I don't know, but being able to relate to this transformation seems to be important to me. Where to go with this, I don't know. I've got an annual subscription now, so I will be doing the occasional little experiment with it. putting up what I think will just be very brief shorts in a dedicated playlist on my channel, and just really seeing if I can put Anja in different situations. I am very fortunate, very blessed in that I have a lot of photographs of Anja that I can draw upon. I don't need to, probably this would be very interesting to do at some point, but to upload a photograph of my male self and see how that can be feminized, which I know is certainly possible in AI. Many of these videos I've mentioned actually play with that scenario. But I can actually put up photographs, use a starting point photograph of Anja that at least for a time I have actually physically embodied, which may possibly help with that projection idea. This was a look that I actually presented physically. So I'm very fortunate in that sense, quite a catalogue to draw on there, and just seeing what kind of little scenarios that I can put Anja into and see if I can learn something there. So I think that's another interesting aspect of this journey with AI is, yes, it can become overindulgent. Yes, it can go in very far into the realms of make-believe and detaching from reality, very much in the realms of fantasy. But I think there's also quite a thin line between that, where you are able to project your, let's say, your soul into this character that is being played out in front of your eyes, and actually imagine being connected in a kind of soulful sense to that individual, not just kind of a mental trick. So that is an area where perhaps learning something about what it is to be, or could be, should I say, what it is potentially could be to be this person in the real world, even though it's being presented in a very artificial one. So not a total waste of energy into something that is pure fantasy, I would say. I think it has something to teach as well. And anyway, it's fun. It's amazing technology. Unfortunately, for my budget, it is a bit too expensive to indulge too wildly, but I have made a start, and this playlist will be a part of that journey.
Hey, fancy seeing you here.
I know, what a surprise. How have you been? Hey there, how are you doing? Hi.
Good, actually. How about you? Great to see you.
Yeah, likewise. Catch you later.
All right, bye. All right, love.
Hello, you.